Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of This Week in Real Estate. And if you caught last week's video, you may have noticed something just a little bit different. So big thank you to Courtney for basically filling in and being a great sport for April Fool's Day. I did not put her up to it. It was her idea, probably because she was able to make fun of me a few times. So, but I thought it really turned out great. And she's been here for about a year helping me out with things and does a very good job in keeping me in line and keeping track of all this stuff that we do. So big thank you to her, and I hope everybody enjoyed that video. And if you haven't seen it, go back a week and you can check it out. So the market report. So we saw in Delaware County about the same amount of listings. We're at 76 as of today, and the pendings went up quite pretty much just under 10% or so, to 131 pending, and we're still seeing same things across the board where they come up for sale and within a few days receive multiple offers, and then they go pending. So Randolph County, basically the same as the prior week. So we currently have 24 active listings and 37 pending. So kind of the same things going on there. On to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good. So we're working through about 12 separate transactions currently, and they are in all stages. So we just got a couple of offers accepted within the last couple days, and then we have some that are getting their inspections scheduled. I got a report back yesterday on one of those, and then so after that is the negotiating of those inspection responses, and then we also have a couple appraisals that have happened and aren't back yet, and then hopefully at the end of it you schedule closings. And so we're just kind of working our way through on multiple properties, and that's kind of what we're doing. So obviously keeping very busy with that. And one transaction that kind of hit most of those was on Timber Lane, and so that one kind of fell apart, and then we got somebody else interested and got their offer accepted, and so that one has made about halfway, then started back at the beginning, and started that process again. So that's just an example of what's going on there. And also working with a few for sale by owners. I know I've mentioned that before, that we do work with for sale by owners, and so that's not a problem for us, and we do that basically on a daily basis. And then also we've had a few meetings, which I really love doing for first-time home buyers. It's a lot easier of a process if I can get you on the phone or a Zoom call or here in the office or somewhere, heck, McDonald's, it doesn't matter, and just spend 30 minutes, unless there's a bunch of questions, maybe up to an hour, kind of going through the home buying process, since a lot of these people just haven't done it before. And so it's a lot easier to hit some of those questions on the front end, and yes, things will come up throughout a process, maybe that we didn't touch on very deeply or whatever, but if we can kind of do that at the beginning, it gets us started out on the right foot, instead of, and we still kind of work this way too, to where, hey, new home buyer, want to see this house, we go show it to them, and work the transaction that way. But it's just usually a lot easier and simpler if we can sit down and discuss things on the front end, and just get everything out in the open and any questions answered at first. And so as we progress down the transaction timeline, things go a lot more smoothly. So I basically have done that a few times over this last week or so as well. And then we were able to get Abram's first set of ball games in the other night. Now, we did get rained out last night, but it was a good set of games, and a lot of the boys did really well basically for their first game out. Obviously there's always room for improvement on certain things, but really encouraged that the season should be pretty fun. So that's exciting. On to the bad. So two bad things this week, and one was it 2 days ago, I think. So right before I get to the office, I reach over to grab my coffee cup, and the best way to describe it is that it basically exploded. So I dropped it in the truck and it went everywhere. And it was right as I was basically pulling into the parking lot here at the office, and that starts the day out pretty bad. And so because it went everywhere, I had an appointment coming up, but I did have just enough time to basically come to the office, grab a bunch of stuff to wipe down the interior of the truck, and then jet home to basically change my clothes because it was everywhere. So obviously bad, and I think most people have been there before. Not a great way to start off the day, but we recovered and it ended up being just a fine day, just a little harried there in the morning. And then another bad thing on a personal note, and it turned out okay. I mean, obviously nobody got hurt or died or anything, but the kiddos accidentally locked the keys in the van when Rachel was in Muncie. I was here, and I said, hey, no problem. I got just enough time to get in there, unlock it, come back to present some offers for some people. And so I get there, I'm all excited, I'm making fun, and I put the key in the lock of the door and it won't go in, like hardly at all. It's because, again, one of the kids decided to try to unlock it themselves with a stick, and then broke the stick off, and didn't tell anybody on the front end until I got there and I couldn't unlock it. So we tried our darndest, Rachel and I, to unlock it ourselves with the old coat hanger thing, and that wasn't working. And we were in a neighborhood in Muncie, and a guy was walking by with his wife and said, hey, you guys need some help or something? I was like, yes, we need tons of help to try to get this van unlocked, because they had a bunch of stuff to do that evening as well. And lo and behold, he's a sheriff's deputy, so he just walks down to his house, comes back, and has all the tools necessary. So yes, it put Rachel and kiddos behind and missed a couple things, but it ended up okay. So fun with kids is basically what I'll say. And then the ugly, nothing too ugly. So other than maybe the coffee incident, you could call that ugly. But yeah. So coming up, like I mentioned before, we're working our way through all those transactions. And again, thanks to Courtney for keeping me in line there as far as what we need to do for each one. And then I did have plans. I think the little tool is coming today from Amazon, but going to go plant some trees in our little woods and try to diversify what's there. And so excited to do that this weekend, even if it's snowing, whatever. I'm going to be out there and having fun. So that's about it. So I appreciate you tuning in, and any questions or comments, always leave those below and I will get to those. So until next time, I'll see you.